What were the main power struggles during Charles the Bald's reign? If you're curious about the life and reign of Charles the Bald, one of the most intriguing aspects is the series of power struggles he faced. Let's delve into the details to understand what made his reign so complex. Charles the Bald, the youngest son of King Louis the Pious, was born in 823 and immediately caused tensions within the family. His father had to redistribute the Carolingian Empire to accommodate him, which led to significant conflicts among his brothers, Pippin, Lothair, and Louis the German. When King Louis the Pious died in 840, a fierce civil war broke out among the brothers. This conflict culminated in the Battle of Fontenoy in 841, where Charles and Louis the German allied against Lothair and Pippin Roman II. Despite Lothair's confidence in winning and potentially excluding Charles from kingship by having him tonsured, Charles and Louis emerged victorious. This led to the Treaty of Verdun in 843, which divided the empire into three distinct regions: West Francia for Charles, East Francia for Louis, and the Central Kingdom for Lothair. However, this division did not bring peace. Charles faced constant threats from Vikings to the north, who raided his territories frequently. To manage these attacks, he had to pay tributes to the Norsemen, which was a significant drain on his resources. Additionally, he had to deal with internal rebellions and power struggles within his own family. One notable challenge was his relationship with his brother Louis the German. Despite their initial alliance, their cooperation was short-lived, and they soon found themselves at odds. In 858, Louis the German invaded Charles's territory, and although Charles managed to fend off this invasion, the tension between them remained high. This rivalry continued even after Louis the German's death in 876, as Charles attempted to seize Louis's land but was met with resistance from Louis's son, Louis Triple, who defeated Charles at the Battle of Andernach in 876. Charles also had to navigate the complexities of the Middle Kingdom, which was left without an heir after Lothaire's death in 869. Charles quickly moved to annex this land and had himself crowned king and emperor in Metz, solidifying his claim. However, this move was not without opposition, as Louis the German found support in Lotharingia, undermining Charles's authority. Another significant power struggle was Charles's involvement in Italy. After the death of Louis Roman II, son of Lothair I, Charles was summoned to Rome to protect the Pope and the Church from outside invaders. He was crowned Emperor of the Romans, but this move was met with hostility from Louis the German, who invaded Charles's land in retaliation. This conflict was resolved only after Louis the German's death. Throughout his reign, Charles the Bald had to balance external threats with internal family conflicts, making his rule a continuous struggle for power and stability. Despite these challenges, he managed to maintain a significant portion of the Carolingian Empire, although his achievements did not last beyond his lifetime. His legacy marks the beginning of the end for the Carolingian dynasty, as the empire continued to fragment into smaller states that would eventually form the basis of modern European countries.